This is what Obama says.
When we don't think about boys and just assume they're going to be okay because they've been running the world and they've got all the advantages relative to the girls, and all of which has historically been true in all kinds of ways. But precisely because of that, if you're not thinking about what's happening to boys and how are they being raised, then that can actually hurt women.
So he's twisting himself in knots to be like, we went crazy there, and then the title was like, Obama says progressives went too far with the like villainizing men or whatever.
Again, we all know this though. This is like you're like too little, too late, pal.
But it's worse than too little, too late in my opinion, because you're just like, it's not even about the thing. You go there. It's because his point is like, the government needs to work for men too or whatever, and you go, okay, if it's working for everyone, then you don't need the categories anymore, right? First of all, but you're just like, how about don't just leave them alone.
Yeah.
Because at the time it was just like, let's try to rig the schools so it kind of helps them more than this. Let's try to tell them their nature is different than it is. Let's vilify like traditional masculine behaviors with boys and this and this and this. And you're just like, you go, and he's like, what we need to do is get involved in, you're just like, stay away from them.
Yeah.
Just leave people a fuck alone.
Stay out of people's lives, essentially.
Honestly.
Like, you don't need to fucking micromanage
the fact that you're like, we went so far this way and we were wrong. Now we're going to go so far this way. And you go, is it possible that by virtue of the fact that you would just admit that it was so off kilter what you were trying to do and you realized how much of a mistake it was, maybe just stop doing things?
Yeah. Just
obviously that's not an option.
No,
because government in the history of the world.
No. That's not an option to not do anything. But yeah, I mean, they could have just fucking...
Most men do not operate with women where like, I need constant praise or fucking the government coming up with solutions. You're like, just leave me the fuck alone.
Would be nice, but no, they can't do. They gotta fucking tell you all your business. That's their whole thing. And also like this commie shit where you're literally like, yo, we need to even the playing field. It's like, it's not possible. Like, you can't just like make everything perfectly even for everybody. It's just like, it's not. That's a theory that you could have where it's possible, but like in practice it's impossible.
Right. Like
someone is like, if someone's getting some benefit, someone's getting dinged in an equal amount or whatever. Like you can't do it. So it's like, I mean, dude, I did this fucking poll on Twitter. Now again, I'm not saying...
Am I gay?
100%.
Ding, ding, ding.
No, but I was just like, are you more racist than you were 10 years ago or whatever? And literally it was like almost 6,000 people voted. And it was 81% says I'm more racist than I was 10 years ago. And you're like, the whole thing was, you're like, the DEI stuff was like, hey, we need to, the fucking NFL was like, put it in the end zone, end racism and all this stuff. And you're like, you made everybody way more racist. You're like, this could not have backfired worse. Like, there's no question. People are now way more racist than they were 10 years ago when you started meddling in this shit.
Right.
Like putting it on overdrive meddling.
And there's a bigger divide between men and women, and they're both doing worse.
Yes. You're just like, you guys fucked up with your social engineering shit so hard. Like, dude, I tell you, I still like watch Canadian, and I have all these Canadian channels, and you're like, it's still just like every commercial is just like, the rare commercial is just like a white couple, but it's still, it's just, the fact is like, they're still mixed. Like, that's like the lunacy of it all, is like, they're still on this shit where you're like, every couple is mixed race. You're like, what are you doing? Like, nobody,
Toronto, it is actually like that, but
I guess, but you're just like,
I'm with you.
I mean, it's not though. Like, even in Toronto, it's not mixed race couples.
No, you're right.
I don't know one mixed race couple.
Well, me was it mostly.
Yeah, just you. It's just you. I'm like, I'm trying to rack my brain here. I'm like, Tish, I guess.
Yeah, black guys and white girls will happen.
Yeah, brown dude and white girl.
Brown dude and white girl.
Yeah, but you're like, for the most part, you're like, I don't know any mixed race couples. Like, it was this like
black guys and Arab
attempt
girls.
at social engineering, and this attempt at like, hey, we have to like have the most amount of representation possible. And you're like, this backfired so fucking badly for you. Like, I've never seen this much. Like, you were like, oh, we're bringing everyone together. You go, yeah, we've never been more divided.
Right. So the Obama stuff's funny because he's kind of, he's doing a version of that where he was just like, yeah, we, maybe went too far. And it was just like, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
And he was like, but we have the solution now. You go, dude, no, you knew you didn't then, and you knew you don't now.
Sure. And again, you were like pretty out of touch with that stuff. You're like, you're not like boots on the ground. Like, you got to be in the fucking trenches and Twitter comments and stuff. And then you see, what's this big Mike thing?